am pulling back the curtains to tell you how I made 11K in 11 days during my first launch of 2022. Make sure that it makes sense for your audience. So pay attention to what it is that they're asking you for, or more importantly, pay attention to their pain points and make sure that it aligns with your problem and solution analysis. Combining my social media strategy with my email strategy, with my SMS strategy, with the waitlist strategy, with the pre-sale early bird access strategy, I was able to make that amount of money with my launch. Hey Hustle Babes, I'm Chanel the Brand Hustler, and this is a channel for all of my hustle babes who are interested in gaining insight on the entrepreneurial journey while learning essential marketing and business tips for their brand. If that sounds like you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the Hustle Babe community. Today is a very special video because I am pulling back the curtains to tell you how I made 11K in 11 days during my first launch of 2022. Now, this is something that I was a little hesitant to share, to be completely honest, just because, I don't know, I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm gonna share it with y'all anyway because I want to be able to help you guys, and I want to show you what a proper launch strategy actually looks like. Okay, so before we get into this video, drop down below if you are someone that is about to launch. Drop down below what business you're launching and what is the approximate date that you plan on launching. Drop that down below so that we could chat it up in the comments. Now let's get into the video because I just want this to be a quick little chat, but you definitely want to make sure that you grab your notebooks and your pens because it's gonna be some gems dropped during this chat. Okay, so to give you a little background story on where the 11K came from and what exactly I'm talking about. So at the beginning of the year, I hosted the Paid and Profitable Target Audience Workshop. If you was there, you know it was lit. Litty titty committee. If you wasn't there, oh well, you got to catch it next time. However, I hosted the Paid and Profitable Target Audience Workshop at the very beginning of the year, and that was my very first launch of 2022. So a lot of times when people hear the word launch, they think that it only relates to you launching your business for the first time, when in reality you can actually have a launch over and over and over again, especially if you have collections or you have a specialty product and things like that. You can definitely have a launch over and over again. With my business, I don't have a product-based business yet. My business is service-based business, or I should say I don't have a product-based business anymore because I used to own a shoe boutique. However, I have a service-based business now, and I do launches quite often when I'm coming out with a new program or something like that. So I decided to host this Paid and Profitable Target Audience Workshop to really break down target audience for my peoples, my hustle babes, because I felt like it was something that was really needed, right? So in order for me to even come up with the idea of the workshop, I basically looked at my problem and solution analysis, and then I kind of put on a magnifying glass and paid attention to my audience's pain points to figure out what it was that they need next. So tip number one that I would say I learned from this launch is to make sure that you are launching something that makes sense for your audience. Don't launch something that you feel like you just want to do just because it's cute or it's trendy. Make sure that it makes sense for your audience. So pay attention to what it is that they're asking you for, or more importantly, pay attention to their pain points and make sure that it aligns with your problem and solution analysis. That's tip number one. So anyway, so I came to the conclusion that I wanted to do a workshop. It was my very first workshop ever. This was the first time I was going to sit down for 3+ hours, have an interactive kind of face-to-face type of thing with a group of people. And so it was a little crazy, but I'm glad that I did it, right? It was a little nerve-wracking, I should say, but I'm glad that I did it because it helped so many people. But anyway, what I did leading up to that launch, so after I made the decision on what it was I wanted to actually create, I then mapped out an entire plan. My plan was, first I set goals, right? And I broke those goals into strategies and tactics using my GST kind of breakdown. And once I did that, it made it clear for me when it came to what content I needed, how often I needed to show up, etc. So using like my GST breakdown, I was able to come up with a social media content plan, an email marketing content plan, and I didn't want to run any ads. I wanted it to be straight organic because I wanted to know the force that I had organically, because if I were to ever do a workshop again, I can now use what I know, like how well I can perform organically, and then I could couple that with ads and be double the force, if that makes sense. So like if I know I brought in, for example, $100 like organically, which organically means there's no paid, nothing involved. Everything is just straight energy that you're putting out there. If I know that I brought in $100 organically, then okay, if I'm gonna put money behind ads or money behind an influencer, now I know that, okay, boom, I'm gonna shoot for 200 or I'm gonna shoot for 300 because by myself I did 100. So now that I'm putting money towards ads, I want to amplify what I already did, right? So that was my mindset. So I decided not to run ads at all. So I basically used my GST breakdown to come up with different content strategies for email marketing, social media, etc. And one of the things that I made sure that I included when it came to my social media content strategy was IG Reels, because IG Reels were on the rise. And so I was like, okay, I need to be heavy on the reels. So I mapped that out and I used the pain points of my audience to then create content pillars for this particular launch. Once I created those content pillars, I was able to bulk record IG Reels. I was able to mass create certain content pieces. I was able to literally write all like 20 something ish of my emails out, and then schedule them out, which was amazing. Once I did that, I then started promotion to the waitlist. So the way that I decided to build anticipation is by telling people how great this workshop was going to be, which it was thebomb.com. But I didn't want to give them immediate access to purchase a ticket. I wanted to build some type of like antsy type of feeling. So I led them to a wait list. Now the wait list is very similar to like a landing page. So if you're launching a new collection or you're launching for the very first time, your landing page is something that you can use to kind of build your email list, get people excited while still working on stuff on the back end. So while I was working on the workshop still on the back end, I had the wait list up and I was directing people to the wait list. Once they got on my wait list, they activated an automatic series of emails that went out to them, right? So immediately when they got on the wait list, they got an email. Maybe a day or two after, they got another email, etc., etc., etc. I'm not gonna go into detail what those emails said. If you want to know, join the ultimate launch course, because I give you the template to stuff like this. I give you the template to create your own automated email, so that way you just plug in information about your brand. You know exactly what days to send it out, like how many days to space it out and everything like that. You have like a blueprint. So if you want to learn about that, definitely go to yourultimatelaunch.com or click the link in my description box, because you learn all of that in there. Okay, so pretty much I sent the waitlist an automatic series of emails, and then I kept pushing out content to keep building my email list. And in addition to my email list, I also had text message as well. So I used SMS marketing. And so I would like send, like I think I sent an SMS alert when you joined the email list, I think, like the wait list. And then I used it to tell you when I actually opened up the doors for you to get tickets. So I can't remember how long I did that for. I want to say it was like I built my wait list for maybe like a week and a half or 2 weeks. And then after I did that, that's when I actually opened up the doors for people to purchase. And once I opened up the doors for people to purchase, I activated another series of emails. And that's when my text started coming in more heavy. That's when I was sending a text message probably like every day, because my goal was to sell a certain amount of tickets within a certain amount of time. What ended up happening was, so we set out to sell, I think it was 50 tickets pre-sale. So, the incentive for people joining the wait list was that they would get an exclusive discount. So another tip, right? I probably already dropped the tip that I forgot to highlight was a tip. But another tip is, whenever you have people come into a landing page and they're signing up to anticipate your launch, give them something worthwhile, because they're not joining your list just because they like you. I mean, unless they're like your parents or your friends. like, you want to give them incentives. So that should be like a discount or a special gift or something like that. So my incentive was that they would get an exclusive price to the actual target audience workshop. They were able to get like a special price, and so once I opened up the doors, it was only to the people on the wait list. So I sold to the people on my wait list for like 3 days or something like that. Our goal was to only sell like, I think 50 early bird tickets. We ended up selling way more than that. And then we opened it up to the public for the remaining tickets at the actual price. So once we did that, we opened it up, I think I did 3 or 4 days for early bird, and then it was the remaining of the 11 days for the regular access. And so after we did that, I kept the social media content going, I kept the email content going, but the content that I did once doors were open was a little bit different than the content I did when it was waitlist. I made sure that the heavy hitter kind of content came after my doors were open, if that makes sense. So that way people felt more urgency to actually go through and shop. So once I did that, I kept sending out text message emails. Y'all, it doesn't matter how annoying it may seem, you always want to send that last email, send that last text message, because trust me, up until like the minute when I was closing down registration for real, somebody was purchasing a ticket. And so once I looked at the overall numbers, I realized that I had made $11,000 based off of that. And that was literally not even, I didn't go hard on social media. I went hard via email. I didn't go hard on social media just because like I just wanted to like test things out. But if I would have went harder on social media, I would have made more. But the point is, combining my social media strategy with my email strategy, with my SMS strategy, with the waitlist strategy, with the pre-sale early bird access strategy, I was able to make that amount of money with my launch, right? And that is what I want for you. I want you to have a successful launch. So whether your goal is 1K, whether it's $500, maybe it's 5K for your launch week, right? I want you to be able to achieve your goals. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you have the tools and the strategy plan to activate it, to actually get your launch, like, you know, get that business out the door and get it out the door correctly, right? And so that is the reason why I created the Ultimate Launch Course. The Ultimate Launch Course literally takes you from pre-launch to your launch month to your post-launch month, and it breaks everything down for you. So in the pre-launch stage, we focus on how you can build hype and anticipation. Like, what does that even look like, right? We set goals, we do all that stuff in like the pre-work stage, and then once we get to the pre-launch stage, we're really trying to piece together your content, piece together your anticipation strategies, and activate those things so that way you can build your email list and build hype at the same time. Once we go into your launch section, right, we then talk about activating that marketing strategy plan that we created. We talk about pushing as much traffic to your website as possible so that you can collect data, but also get sales on the back end. And then once you move into your post-launch, we talk about how to interpret that data so that way you can keep up with what's working, cut down what's not working, or tweak what needs a little bit of work. Not only that, but we talk about mindset in that section too, because I feel like with launching a business, it's a lot and it takes a toll on you, and it's important for you to kind of check yourself so that way you know that you're meant for this. You know that you're set up for entrepreneurship. You know that this is something that is on your path. And so it's important for us to talk about mindset and all of that at the very end so that you can remain motivated once you leave the program. But like I said, having a launch marketing strategy plan is something that you don't have to use only for your first launch. You can use it if you're relaunching. You can use it if you're launching a collection, a new product. The launch I just talked about was not my very first launch. It was a launch that I did in 2022, but I followed the baseline of what I did when I first launched this business. I followed the baseline of what I did when I launched my shoe boutique, and that is why I was able to see success, right? And that is me doing that organically. So imagine what your launch could look like on an organic scale, or even if you coupled it with something paid like ads or influencers or paid promo. Imagine what your launch could actually look like. So if you're interested in learning you know, the who, what, when, where, why. If you're interested in grabbing like templates and things like that, because I've created a template for almost everything that you can think of to just make it easier for you. If you're interested in any of that stuff, make sure that you go to the link in my description box, or you can just type in your Safari or Chrome or whatever you're using, type in yourultimatelaunch.com, sign up for the launch course before it's too late. When you're watching this video, it's either going to be the day that it closes, or it's going to be the day before it closes, because I haven't decided when I'm putting up this video yet. So you want to make sure that you sign up either way, because on February 14th, that's when the course actually opens up, and that's when sales will literally cease, okay? So you want to make sure that you sign up. If you are interested in meeting with me monthly for Q&As and audit sessions as a group, you definitely want to get the full version, so the paid in full version. If it's not within your budget to get that, you can definitely get the payment plan option, but it just won't come with the Q&A sessions and the audit session. I hope that I'm able to help you with your launch. I hope that you know, trust me enough to help you with your launch, as I've helped many other people in the past. As you'll see when you go to my website, I got testimonials on there. And I hope that this, you know, story that I just shared about the launch that I did in 2022, you know, helps you in some way. So if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure that you hit the subscription button. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me at The Brand Hustler. Also follow me on TikTok at The Brand Hustler, because it goes down on there. Let me know what other videos you would like to see. Drop that down below. And other than that, I'm gonna see you in the next video, hustle babes. Bye.